celebrities know that we are in the middle of a pandemic, or do they just not care about what we got going on? It seems like probably both. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. So what's going on, y'all? Since this is honestly a part 2 of my thoughts on celebrities in the middle of a pandemic. Y'all know the last video I did about this, I talked about how a lot of these folks who seem to have a lot of money, who pretend to have a lot of money, were out here doing club appearances, out here trying to do fake concerts and stuff because they were essential workers, quote unquote. They needed money, but they have no problem letting us know that they have money when they be posting stuff all on Instagram, throwing cash, throwing money, all this. So I'm a little bit confused of what's going on. But I talked about that. Y'all seem to like that video because we got 140,000 views. Shout out to all of y'all. But I want to talk about celebrities and their response to coronavirus. And it just seems like they just don't seem to care about ordinary folks, working class folks. They don't seem to care about people like you and me. And I'm really starting to be disgusted. And it's not just black celebrities. It's also politicians. It's also social media influencers. And I'm a little bit disgusted. So over the last month, I don't know what's going on. Who birthday season is it? I don't really know. But we've seen Cardi B throw her birthday party. She had Offset there giving her a $100,000 car or something. We just saw that T.I. had a album listening party at the club. Him and Tiny was there. And the club was packed. You also had, who else had a birthday gathering? I can't think of who else, but there's been a couple of celebrities who've had birthday parties, who've had big events in the middle of a pandemic. And there's been a lot of conversation. I was actually watching my favorite girl, Fort Harriet, aka Kim Foster over there at Fort Harriet, and she was discussing and saying that, girl, we're not hating on y'all. Like, we ain't hating on y'all, but I want to be able to do things. I want to be able to go out and fly around the country and do these things, but we're in the middle of a pandemic, and it's irresponsible for me to be going this and that place and throwing these events and stuff in the middle of a pandemic and putting people at risk. And folks have now tried to coin the term club shaming or COVID shaming or something. I also was following some person who, not a celebrity, wants to be, who was in DC one weekend, then he was in Chicago next weekend, then he was in Atlanta one weekend, then he was in New York City, and then had the nerve to ask, like, what are y'all doing for New Year's Eve? And I'm just like, girl, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, what's going on with that? Like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. What do you mean, what are we doing for New Year's Eve? And we're now seeing that we are beginning to be in the second wave. Or we never probably got out of the first wave. We never did get down to a nice baseline for positive cases. We were still averaging, I think, what, 6% or something overall in the country. Some parts of the United States had 20%. I think in Iowa it's like 20%. I don't know what it is in Georgia. Georgia seems to be staying steady, and I don't believe it because Atlanta seems like it's been opened up since the beginning. Like, folks have been partying and doing whatever, and that's a little bit on the governor. And also on the mayor, just light restrictions and stuff, like clubs and still are opening. I just don't understand it. And I think I definitely agree with Kim when she said that, y'all check it out because she posted it on Instagram. She said that if we don't come, like, it's going to take all of us to come together to eradicate this virus. And everybody now is an individual. We're not coming together like we've seen people come together. We saw the country come together for 9/11. We saw a lot of folks come together around 9/11. It just seems like right now we're very divisive. Like, it is like really, really bad. We just seem to don't care. And I can see that a lot of us are dealing with COVID fatigue, coronavirus fatigue. Trust me, I'm over it too. And this notion that we are shaming folks for going to the club in the middle of the pandemic, it's not a real thing. What you do affects all of us, whether you know it or not. Like, I remember seeing this guy on Twitter who literally said that, well, girl, I seen folks go to the club and they were going to compound and stuff. I ain't seen them come back and be sick. We don't know. There's no contact tracing going on, and people who are out here dying from COVID ain't out here saying that they're dying from COVID. Like, it happens by word of mouth, but you're not going to know of every person because if one person is coming from New Jersey and they came to Atlanta, went to compound, and then went back somewhere else, we don't know. We don't know who was all there. There's no contact tracing to be able to know what's going on. So you have these celebrities now that seem to just really don't care and don't have any problems posting on social media that they're out. Like I seen at Cardi's party, like it was just packed, and folks were posting videos of doing. The City Girls was there. Who else was there? Tiana Taylor was there. You had a lot of folks that were there. And now these folks are going to different parts of the United States and doing their thing. And I mean, you even had my girl Megan Thee Stallion was there. And I'm looking to myself like, my birthday was in August. I had a little small gathering at a restaurant, but it was like only an hour. We wasn't even there long. And it's been like the same folks I was in a circle with, but even then I was very nervous, but it was a surprise for me. I've been wanting to do things, and honestly, I am jealous, I am upset, I am frustrated. I think a lot of us are, and I really have a tough time getting on Instagram now, seeing people constantly at the club, like it just seems like no one cares. And it honestly makes me, like that's another part of coronavirus depression, because it just seems like I'm living in a different world. Like I'm seeing people enjoy themselves, go to the club and doing all these things, and then I was at Walgreens getting some medication for some shampoo for my hair so I can wash my hair, and I'm nervous as hell standing in line at Walgreens. Like I'm nervous, like I have not been to too many places where there's a lot of people. I went to Publix, was terrified. I had to run some errands. I had to give me a snack from Publix too. They had some good wraps and some good Publix sandwiches. But was terrified, was literally terrified, and be masked up. Everywhere I'm going, I'm masked up. Don't get me wrong, I went to the club probably like 2-3 weeks ago. I posted on Instagram, was there. That was my first time being in the club since February of this year. And the only reason why I went is because I was with somebody that wanted to go, and I was tipsy. But I was nervous there at the club. Like I left before the club even let out. Like I was terrified, I had a mask on, just extremely nervous and still drunk. But I'm looking at these celebrities, and it just doesn't seem like these celebrities don't really care. It doesn't seem like the celebrities care, and don't get me wrong, people, these celebrities can do whatever they got their money, yes. But who do you think are the people who are going to the club, to be around these celebrities, to be around this stuff, to get out? And who do you think is cleaning the club up, setting the club up, putting all the stuff together, taking stuff down? Who do you think is doing it? It's working class folks. So when these working class folks are coming out here to work and make money, because in some cases they have to. They have to work to pay bills and stuff. So some of them are appreciative of that, but they're still sacrificing themselves for their family, for themselves, to make money. Like they literally have to work to make some money. So when we look at like how things are going, should nobody be forcing to go to work and doing anything to pay bills? I can see if they were volunteering, they wanted to go, but a lot of folks are going to work because they need the money. Like they need the money, like they need to be able to pay their bills. And seeing these celebrities steady throw these events and steady have these like weddings and birthday parties and everything else, it's just like, I hope y'all are paying these employees and making sure that if anybody gets sick while you're out here enjoying yourself, that you're able to take care of them and their families. Because I think it's really selfish. I think it's really selfish for y'all to have a cute moment and for y'all to post, and these folks that's out here cleaning up and have to do all this stuff are putting themselves in danger. Like I hope y'all are paying them enough. I hope y'all are paying them enough, since y'all love to talk about how much money y'all make. I hope y'all are paying these folks enough in case something was to happen to them, that they'll be able to take care of their families. But I know y'all don't. I know ultimately y'all don't really care. And y'all prove yourself with that every single time that y'all post and y'all go out. It just doesn't seem to bother y'all. And even if the people who are going to these events and stuff, and these clubs and these parties and stuff are not getting sick, they're taking it out to other folks. Y'all taking it to y'all hairdressers. Y'all taking it to the folks who do y'all makeup. Like y'all taking it to working class folks. And y'all passing it on to them, and who knows who they're passing it on to. If we don't come together and stop this individual bullshit, we are going to be doomed. Trust and believe. I definitely think that the federal government and a lot of these states have failed in protecting us. There was only so much they can do, because at the end of the day, capitalism is the main reason why this virus is still doing what it's doing. Because if people were being paid a living wage and we're not out here struggling to pay bills, we wouldn't be dealing with folks going to work in the middle of a pandemic. Like, we wouldn't be seeing so many folks going to work. We wouldn't be seeing, well, we got to open it up. The only reason why they want to open the economy up is because people need to get to work to pay their bills. Federal government is not interested in paying these folks while coronavirus is doing. If we would have, honestly, I believe if we would have paid folks to stay at home for a couple of months, we would have been done with this. Our numbers would not have been bad. If we would have paid people to stay at home and paid essential workers enough to be able to do what they're doing, like the grocery store employees and food restaurants and all that, we wouldn't. But we live in a very consuming ass world. Like, I have to be able to go out. And I definitely agree with Kim when she said that y'all out here thinking it's anti-black to be out here club shaming folks. But it's anti-black for y'all to be going to different countries, these poor countries, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, all these places. Even though you quote unquote getting a test, you're still exposing them to something. You're still putting them at risk. And they don't have the resources to be able to deal with it. And honestly, it's true. It is true. Like, you're going to these poor countries, and don't tell me about shaming and y'all can't afford to go. Honestly, it's cheaper to travel more than any other time. Like, flights are cheap as hell right now. Hotels are cheap as hell right now. Like, all of that. And that's another thing. Maybe if everybody could go out of town, and maybe if everybody was able to enjoy quote unquote luxury things like going out of town and taking vacations, maybe the folks who have never been able to do it would be sacrificing and going in the middle of a pandemic. This stuff is going to have implications on us for a while. COVID is not going anywhere. Honestly, the cases are going up. We are averaging 50, 60,000 new cases a day, and flu season has not even started yet. Flu season hasn't, so I hope and I encourage folks to go get their flu shots this year. I know I am going to the CVS. I'm actually going to pay Miss Walgreens to give me a shot, but since I'm a veteran, I'm able to use that and go to the CVS and get a flu shot for free. So I definitely will be doing that. But it just seems like watching these celebrities and stuff and how they're interacting, how they're responding in this pandemic, it's very telling. It's very confusing to me seeing like them just have these events. Like ain't nothing going on. Like, we literally have been talking about how packed places, especially indoors, are harmful, and you have folks literally throwing events and stuff. Like, it is crazy, and I'm really struggling with trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Like, am I living in a Twilight Zone? Like, it seems like I'm out here sacrificing for nothing because y'all still out, and these folks that are going to these parties and these clubs and stuff, y'all still have to go to the grocery store, and some of y'all ain't even wearing y'all mask right. Y'all wearing y'all mask on y'all mustache, wearing it on your neck. It's like, so it's just like, we doomed. As this virus and stuff goes on and it starts to get really cold, people are not going to be outside, they're going to be inside. Which means it's going to be spread more. Like, I was just watching the news, I was just reading an article and saying that a lot of people are catching coronavirus not even from people that they know anymore. They're catching it from somebody else, which tells you that the virus is so spread out that contact tracing is almost impossible now. So I'm hoping things get better. I don't care what nobody say. I hope that we have another president. I really hope Joe Biden wins. Because the current administration seems to just has given up on COVID-19. They're not doing any more daily briefings. They're not even talking to the task force folks anymore. Trump out here talking to Dr. Atlas, who has never managed a pandemic in his life. Got the president out here saying trash stuff about the leader of infection and disease. Like, it's crazy to me. So yes, call it what you want, say what you want, but I'm really hoping that Joe Biden wins. My thoughts have completely changed from last year and early this year. Like, I was not interested in voting, especially all the protests and stuff that have happened. But sis, I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it now. We have got to get this virus under control because the next couple of months are going to be terrible. So think about that when you are going out and you're trying to enjoy yourself. I know we're all dealing with fatigue and stuff, but girl, this virus is not going anywhere. The pandemic isn't over just because we're over it. And I'm just really disappointed in celebrities and how they're been responding and how they've been acting around this stuff. It's just really, really disgusting. It just seems like they only care about themselves and what they got going on, and no care for working class, poor folks. Like, it doesn't seem like they care. So let me know what you think about from seeing all of these things on social media and stuff. Sound off in the comments, and until next time, I'll talk to y'all later tonight.